That's
All right.
real.
Welcome to another episode of Manifestation TV. I've been practicing this. Stefan
You
Lovegrove.
got it.
Yes.
Hello.
So happy to have America's life coach here with us on this episode. Such an amazing energy to be with this morning, and so excited to share this interview with you guys. So Stefan Lovegrove is America's life coach. You've probably seen him in your news feed, and if not, what's wrong with your news feed? I don't know. You need to get on that vibe. So please tell us, for those who don't know you, who you are and a little bit about how you got to be America's life coach.
Yeah. Well, to give you a little background on me, I grew up as a gay kid in a fundamentalist cult. So it was every bit as crazy and messy as it sounds. But I always start there because I think though our stories don't define us, they're so important to understand where we've come from and who we are today. So I grew up, and ever since I was little, I knew that I wanted to do healing and empowering work in the world. And in college, I studied philosophy and religion, largely because I wanted to understand how do you not end up in cult ideology like I grew up with. And so it became very clear to me, I wasn't called to be in the religion space, though I have a lot of friends doing good stuff there. I wasn't called to be in the nonprofit space, though I have a lot of friends doing good stuff there. And I was really searching for direction. And at the time, I was connected with a mentor in New York named Jordan Bach. He's actually one of the most well-known life coaches on the East Coast. And one day, Jordan brought this idea to my attention and just kind of planted a seed, right, of maybe this is something you consider. And in just about every interview that I do, I take a second to just recognize and honor Jordan for that, because I think we all need somebody to believe in us in the beginning before we believe in ourselves. And maybe we can do that for you. If you're watching this interview and you just need somebody to speak life into you, we can be that person for you. Because I didn't think I could be a coach. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I had what it takes. But Jordan planted that seed and believed in me and helped me overcome the limiting beliefs that said I couldn't do it. So anyway, as you said today, I am America's life coach. I primarily work with entrepreneurs as well as talent in the entertainment industry. And I always say my goal is to be the most magical person you know. So that's what my clients feel. That's what my intention is for you to feel in this interview as you watch.
Ooh, I hope you're feeling all the feels from Stefan's energy in this interview, because it is amazing. And that is really like, you know, when people are searching for mentors and they're searching for guides on this journey, if you figure it out soon enough that you need someone to guide you, really think about what is the energy that you are striving for. You know, what is the energy, not what that person's going to teach you, because there's strategies and there's techniques and like there's mindset stuff, but it's really about what energy is that person holding. And is that something you're attracted to from your soul that's like, I need that? And I don't know why, maybe even.
Yeah, well, when I think about every person that I've ever worked with, whether in personal development world or in media world, there was something about their energy, right? And even if I didn't feel it at first with their name, the first time I watched them on video, the first time we hopped on a call, the first time I talked to them, there's an energy. And my clients say the same thing. There's an energy that draws people to each other that I think you really have to trust. And especially, you know, I always tell people there's a big difference between short-term knowledge and long-term support. You can get short-term knowledge from anybody. I've gotten short-term knowledge from people that I don't really vibe with their energy, and I don't want them as a presence in my life long-term at all. But when it comes to long-term support, you really want somebody that you can connect with, because that's the person that's going to believe in you, support you, and hold you accountable long-term. And if the energy doesn't work, it's not a fit.
Amen. So tell me your thoughts. You're America's life coach. What is your thought on the big break in your business or in your life? Like, is that a myth, or like, how long did it take you to get there? Can it happen overnight? What do you think about that?
So I think there is a tipping point that changes things, but I firmly believe that we live from the inside out. And for every entrepreneur out there, I firmly believe we run our businesses from the inside out. So yes, I think there's a tipping point, but I would say stop waiting for somebody else to give that tipping point to you. You know, whether it's an entertainment industry client that I'm going to say, don't wait for an agent, a producer, a casting director to give that to you. Or for an entrepreneur, no amount of clients, no amount of money is going to give you the tipping point. I think it's an internal thing. And when I got to the point where I could really see myself as that person, and being that person was an automatic, authentic thing for me. Yes, I did reach a tipping point externally, but it was inside out, not the other way around.
Yeah. And what's important to know, guys, if you are starting out in your business or you've been in it a few years or you're kind of in that struggle zone, is that, like Stefan and myself, for example, we work with high level entrepreneurs as well as not high level entrepreneurs, everybody in between, but they are also like having their breakthroughs. Like they're still struggling with certain things. And that doesn't end because they started making a lot of money. It's a process.
Right. Well, and nothing external can give you something that you can't access in this moment right now. So I would really encourage people to get honest about
Hope you're tapping on that one.
Yeah.
Not getting it externally.
What is it that you think the money, the clients, the outcome is going to bring? If that is something you cannot access in this moment right now, and it feels distant, it feels far away, it feels unattainable, that is a sure sign that you've got some inner work to do, because nothing external can give you what you cannot access right now.
And there's your $10,000 coaching tidbit from Stefan.
I'm just trying to save you the time and energy so you don't become the 45-year-old who got the external stuff and is disillusioned.
Absolutely. What if anything has surprised you on this journey? What did you start off thinking was going to happen, and what did you discover instead?
Ooh. I think even though I understood the law of attraction and manifestation, it continues to amaze me how much external shifts happen automatically because I shifted something on the inside. And I know that to be true. I've lived it over and over. I teach that, and yet it still surprises me. I mean, just the other day, I saw somebody post and say, listen, guys, here's the reality. You can't get clients unless you do X, Y, Z. You can do all the attraction you want, but you can't get clients unless you do X, Y, Z. And I thought, there was a time when I would have said that. There was a time when I would have been like, preach, tell them the truth. But the thing is, I really have the experience now of I shift something inside to be able to receive clients, and I get a message and they seek me out. And that is a real thing for me. I put an intention out there that an ideal client reaches out to me every day for a list of a couple of things. And now that is my everyday reality, and I'm continually surprised at it really does work. And that shouldn't surprise us, because either it all works or it's all bullshit. Can I swear on this show? I don't know. But
it's the internet. You can do whatever you want.
Right. Benefits. See, if you swear on television, they beep you out over and over and you look trashy.
You're practicing.
Thank you
practicing for your real show.
But yeah, I think it's either it all works or it's all bullshit, right? So either you have to accept that you can really do something on the inside that changes your external reality, or just endlessly look for the right perfect series of actions and put all your hopes and dreams in that, right? But it's one or the other. And I just think I continually am astounded, even though I've lived it and practiced it and taught it for years, I'm continually astounded at how much it really does work.
So do you have any examples of something really cool that you manifested, or something really not cool that you manifested? Because we can do both, right? It's a very easy switch to start focusing on getting sick.
And it happens. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me start out with a positive. So one story that I love is I decided that I wanted a public speaking agent. I didn't want to deal with the contracts and negotiations and all the details on my own anymore. I really wanted an agent and representation. And I put that intention out there on a Sunday afternoon. And I woke up, this is this past summer, and I woke up on Monday morning. and I had an email in my inbox from my current now amazing public speaking agent. His name is Ethan. He has a British accent, which I love.
Which makes him all the more legitimate, let's be honest.
Right. Sure sign that I knew. But I woke up to that email and it was less than 24 hours later. And that was one of those eerie, oh my God, this really does work moment, right? But on the flip side, or do you want to talk about that, or can I?
Because what people need to understand is what got you into alignment for that. Like, how do you, and what that even feels like when you get into alignment for that it can manifest that quickly.
Right. So I believe that for all of us, our intentions are very powerful, that they are creating our lives, that they're a cause with an effect. There's two problems most people have. One problem is many people are not conscious of their intentions, right? So their unconscious intention that they're not even aware of is the support doesn't show up. Nobody notices them. People think that they're not legit, that they're an imposter, that they're a fraud. And so the first thing is you've got to be conscious of your intentions, right? Even just by bringing awareness into your intentions, you take your power back in your life. So I think that's the first mistake.
Number one, get conscious about your intentions.
They're not even conscious of what their intentions are. So the effects are showing up. They just never saw the cause. And by the way, if you just start tracking, look at the effects showing up in your life. Ask yourself, what could be the cause of this? Are there any thoughts and beliefs I have that match this? Where could this be coming from? Just bring some awareness to your intentions. The second thing is, I feel like I have belief and desire and gratitude to fuel my intentions. And those three things are very important. If you don't have belief that your intention is going to manifest, you're canceling it out. If you don't have desire, your intention's not going to be strong enough to manifest, because desire is like the fuel. And I forgot the third thing, but whatever it was. Gratitude. Yeah. If you don't have gratitude, you're in the wrong vibration, because if you're in a vibration of lack or scarcity, or even worse, need or addiction or attachment, you're going to get more of that, not more of what you want. So I think fundamentally, those are the starting. It's not your
fault, because most of the world operates from this system, but you can change it.
Right. Most of the world does. And most of the world thinks that the answer is going to be found in more lack scarcity mindset, right? And it's interesting to me, I'm only 23 years old, but I've watched people in the...
What?
Yeah, I'm 23. But I've watched people in my family...
23. Oh my God.
23. But I've watched people have the same money story that does not serve them for years, right? And here's the issue. I think it was Edison or Einstein. I can't remember which brilliant mind that starts with the letter E. What about that? You cannot solve a problem with the same type of thinking that caused it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I know that's why you and I both do so much work with people on mindset, because you're not going to solve the problem with the same kind of thinking that caused it. And I love the line from Course in Miracles that says, you are responsible for what you think, because it is only at that level that you exercise choice. And so the bottom line is, most of the world is in thought patterns that are not serving them. And I watch people year after year after year don't change their thought patterns, and they think that the answer is going to be found still buying into that system and pattern and ideology. And it's just not. You're not going to solve a problem with the thinking that caused it.
So if you're watching this and you're looking at Stefan and you're going, he's 23 and he has this much wisdom. Well, imagine how fast you can change your thoughts and feelings and beliefs and patterns. If he can be at this level of wisdom and insight and inspiration and connected to spirit, that is possible for you as fast as you want it, basically.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was thinking about the other day, my life has always progressed very quickly, especially in the last few years. I would say since I was about 18 years old and on. And when I think about that, this is what I really credit it to. When I am out of alignment, or when something needs to change, or when I have a next step I need to take, I sense that immediately, and I pay attention and I do something about it. I was just telling my best friend, Lily Lucia, who many of you may be familiar with. I was just telling her last night, when I feel that something is off, it will bother me until I correct it. And what that does for me is in 8 hours, I will see a problem, recognize the solution, and take action on it. While some people might let that go for 8 months or 8 years, right? And so I would say you can accelerate your life as fast as you want it to, but it begins with you really listening to your instincts, to your inner voice, to your body. And as soon as you know that there's something calling you, as soon as you know there's a next step, as soon as you know that you need to change something, making the change rather than settling for another 5 years and then 5 years down the road realizing my feelings haven't changed or gone away here.
Totally. And you could be like in the middle of dealing with a client and you want the deal and you want them to sign the contract. And then 5 minutes after they sign it, you feel sick, and it's not the right thing. And you need to honor that. And just change your mind and allow for something better and bigger to come in and take that risk of trusting your intuition. The more you trust it, the more evidence you collect for feeling right and trusting yourself, which is the big thing that people are missing, right?
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because I think we need to celebrate the no's, if for nothing else than to give each other support through the difficult no's, because I find that in entrepreneur world, especially, the yeses are very celebrated. And say yes to yourself. Say yes to investing in yourself. Say yes to the brave risk that you're called to take. Absolutely. But I find that leaders, it's often make or break, not in the yeses nearly as often as it is in the no's. What you had to say no to, what you had to walk away from, what you had to honor yourself through because it was out of alignment for you. And so I love that you gave that example because people don't celebrate the no's. Saying no to a client, saying no to money, saying no to an opportunity. But you and I, and everybody watching this, you can all think of a time when you said yes to something that you had a feeling was just off and you ended up regretting it. We always regret the things that we don't honor ourselves in.
100%. And see that through with a guide like myself, like Stefan. See that through because something that feels like a no, like if you're unclear about your feelings because you have been scared to dive in there, you're not necessarily going to have the clarity to know. You might know that you need money, but you might not know what this other weird feeling is inside. Or like you might think, well, maybe I married the wrong person and maybe that's my no and I need to get out of it immediately. That might be true, but you have to get to some clarity with someone who can help you weed through the layers of stuff you have going on.
Yeah, and I will say for anybody who's contemplating or processing a no, the no's that are important are the no's that really scare you, not the easy no's. One of my favorite soul cycle instructors, Ross Ramon, says, the more it scares you, the more you probably need to do it. So I will just offer this to people as a litmus test. The no's that really matter are not the convenient, easy way out, procrastination of my dreams and destiny no's. So please don't hear what I'm saying as an excuse to say no to your vision for one more second after watching this interview. I'm talking about the no's of, it terrifies you, but you know it's the right thing. And in those situations, you've got to do the right thing.
Yeah. Amen. So we have just a couple minutes left. Okay. I want the audience to hear about what your relationship has been with money on your entrepreneurial journey, because it's always like on people's minds. Like, what's the deal,
Right. It is always on people's minds. And, I have embraced that because I firmly believe that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I don't believe people when they tell me, everything's going great in my life, just except for money. At this point, I call BS on that. Right. Because I'm like, I know how you do one thing is how you do everything. But the beautiful thing about that is there's such an opportunity for healing there. Because what that means is if you can heal your relationship with money, you're healing on multiple levels at once. And how profound and beautiful is that? And so what I would say is recognize that you have been internalizing things about money your entire life. So you probably have more limiting beliefs about money than you realize. I don't say that to overwhelm you or make you feel guilty or make you discouraged, but just for you to realize there are so many opportunities for us to do the work about money. If I can just offer to people a couple points to look to get started that I think a lot of people overlook. One is almost all of us have a set point on income. Whether it is the income that we're used to earning, the income that we've seen our parents earn, maybe just the income that everyone in our friend circle earns. But I think a huge barrier to a lot of people starting out is they have a set point of income. So no matter what goals they set, that set point is like an invisible ceiling, and they're not clearing it because their subconscious is preset to go to this. Set points is really the theme that I feel led to just offer for people's consideration. The other big set point I see a lot is people have a set point of safety and security, especially in terms of savings, right? Yeah. So I would say a lot of entrepreneurs, it's not that they can't bring in money, but it disappears, whether they frivolously spend it. And this was going to be my negative example. I used to attract all kinds of things to take the money away, right? A medical situation that resulted in almost $30,000 of debt. I mean, I knew how to create things to take away any money. And it was a set point. It was a set point that said, I don't deserve to feel safe. I can't have that, right? And so what I would tell people is beneath whatever is showing up that you don't like in your external reality, there are beliefs that are not serving you in your internal reality. And if you can shift those beliefs, you will heal on all levels and you will change your life. So in regards to money, just be aware. The beliefs are there. You've picked them up your whole life. Doesn't mean anybody sought to harm you. Just you live in a world with all kinds of beliefs about money. You're still living in a world with all kinds of toxic beliefs about money everywhere. So you got to be honest about how those beliefs may have sunk into your subconscious and how they're affecting you.
Yeah. And be around people, be working with people and surrounding yourself with people who have beliefs about that you really resonate with on a soul level. Like everyone in your immediate community might be like, you're crazy. $10,000 a month is crazy, or $100,000 a month is crazy. It's not possible for people like us. Surround yourself with people who see that as a day-to-day reality.
Yeah.
It's so important because otherwise you're like battling everybody and yourself, and you don't have the support to have that belief grow.
Right. And I would say, especially for people just starting off, be very careful who you talk about your vision with.
Yes.
Right? In the same way that I would tell an actor in LA, you don't necessarily need to talk about that audition or that crazy dream to everybody and anybody right now, because not everybody wants to hear it. Not everybody's going to believe that with you. Not everybody can hold space for that. The same is very true for entrepreneurs, right? So if you're having a personal confidence crisis, the thing to do is probably not, and this is, I guess, applicable to both Canadians and Americans with Thanksgiving coming up. The thing to do is probably not to go to Thanksgiving dinner and put your crisis of confidence on your relatives about your business to just see how they can respond, right? Because
what you're actually doing is just attracting the disbelief that you're holding.
Right. And honestly, this is what I've recognized. There's so much talk about that popular but cliche idea, the 5 people you surround yourself with. The truth is, we often seek out people to mirror what we already believe inside. So if you are seeking out the people who have doubt, who have judgment, who have disbelief, that's something inside that you're just reinforcing, right? And until you decide to choose a new belief and reinforce it, that's going to continue to be your reality. But the good news is you can choose a different belief today and become that new belief.
Totally. And really, honestly, I spent a lot of time avoiding like talking about my business with close people until my belief was so solid that I didn't have to bring it up. And hello, it's the internet. You can hang out with Stefan and I all day long on the internet and just be pumped full of like belief and positivity and, grounding in that. So you can surround yourself with those 5 people on the internet if there's nobody around.
Right. And I once heard it said, sometimes it's not that the people in our lives don't need to be there at all. Sometimes it's just that people are like furniture and we need to make sure they're in the right room. So there may be people in your life that you need to have in the family room, but they don't need to be in the office with you.
Best message ever. let's finish off with what's your favorite thing to splurge on? What do you love to splurge on?
Ooh, what do I love to splurge on? I'm kind of a Disney fanatic. In college, I actually did an internship with the Walt Disney Company. I love Disney. I live with access to Disneyland. I'm looking at mouse ears right now. There. So I think Disney is a big splurge.
Ooh,
I'm
fun.
very excited for Moana coming out this Thanksgiving.
And this is your favorite season. So tell us where people can find you in October, in fall and Christmas, your favorite seasons. Tell us where people can find you, hang out with you, work with you, all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. So my website is stephanlovegrove.us. That is the hub for everything. So if you're trying to find me on any platform or in any format, that's the place you can start, stephanlovegrove.us. My book is actually a free audiobook download there for you. So that's where I would start. I'm very active on Facebook. So if you're watching this, you may be connected to Agnes on Facebook. Hopefully you are. You should be. Why would you not be? So she'll tag me there. Stephan Lovegrove is the name of the page and the profile on Facebook. And if you want to work with me, I'm probably on a wait list at the time you're watching this. There's obviously could be a delay. I'm on wait list at the time we're recording this. But if you go to my website, stephanlovegrove.us/apply, you can fill out an application. I will follow up with you and personally contact you. And if it's a good fit for us to work together, I will put you on the wait list and we will get you in as soon as possible.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was a beautiful
start
to the morning.
If you enjoyed this, please comment below, share, like, love, send the hearts, all that good stuff.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Lots of love.